Hello everyone, I am the Omniscient Narrator. My name is Sarah, and this is my first video. I'm doing the Get to Know Me tag. I will give you more info about it. I'm just gonna let you know a few things about me. I have always loved reading. I read a bunch of Rainbow Magic books in elementary school, and when I got to older elementary school, they became a bit too easy for me, so I stopped reading those and kind of fell in love with reading until 6th grade when I read Harry Potter for the first time, and I've been in love with reading since then. I also am a gamer. I'm not good, but I'm a gamer. I am currently also trying streaming on Twitch, so I will leave a link to that down below if you want to check that out too. It's not good right now because I'm still figuring it out, but if you want to check it out, I'll put it there for you. I also enjoy writing. This is going to be primarily book review type channel, so a bunch of my reviews and critiques and such will come from being a writer and what I know as a writer, but also a bunch of it will also come from being a reader. But yeah, I want to become a published author one day. I'm working on a project right now. We'll see if I finish it. Yeah, I also love music. I'm not the best at it, but I still love it. As a reader, you may be like, why do you only have one bookshelf? It's because my family's moving and stuff, so a bunch of my books are currently in boxes in the basement, so these are the only books I have up here right now because I only have one shelf. I used to have 7 shelves. I really needed 8, but I only had 7. But now most of those books are in boxes. So yeah, my top shelf, I love these books. These are my all-time favorites. This one and this one right here are both books I want to hopefully read soon. This first one is fantasy, and this one below it's more realistic fiction. And then my bottom shelf is just some other books. I have my Harry Potter books, my first set of them that I ever read. I have Gone with the Wind books that were used by my mom's that she gave me, and I also have the Lord of the Rings series and The Hobbit. So yeah, that's my bookshelf. One more thing I want to mention before we get to the tag is that I have Tourette syndrome, and something I have learned with this is that viewing media of other people with Tourette's as they tick and stuff, it is harmful for me and my tics because it makes me want to tick then, and it triggers my tics. So it really sucks. I want to watch people who are bringing awareness to Tourette's, but I can't really watch their stuff because it triggers me then. So for all of you viewers out there who have Tourette's or some other tic disorder, in videos in which I do tick, I will create a warning at the beginning in case that is something you want to be wary of. Now let's get right into the book tag. So, I have this on my phone. Like I said, it's the Get to Know Me book tag, and it's by Howling Libraries. I will attach the link below with the questions, and it has 10 questions. So the first one, favorite color, and do you have a book in that color? My favorite color is purple. Particularly, I like light purples like this, but up here I don't really have a book in that color. So I will show some other books I have that are in just purple, not particularly the light ones I like. First, we have Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard. Such a good book. This is probably my favorite series, actually. I heavily annotated that series. So you can see some of the purple right here. It's very nice. Love it. Yes, and another one I have is The Severed Moon by Leigh Bardugo. This is actually a writing journal. It's 365 days worth of prompts, and I actually did this every day for the year I was 16. Well, I say every day. I did it once for every day I was 16, but during November, I procrastinated really bad. So I did a bunch of it in December. And yeah, so there's some purples. Question 2. Describe yourself in 3 book characters. Okay. First one, Hermione Granger. It may kind of sound cliche, but Hermione Granger because when I got back into reading through reading Harry Potter, for a while my mom was calling me Hermione. So that's why for that one. Number 2 would probably be Inej from the Shadow and Bone duology by Leigh Bardugo. So good. Highly recommend. So one reason is actually because she's, her character looks like a South Asian person. Just South Asia just doesn't exist in the world, but if it did, that's where she'd be from. And I'm half South Asian. So just physically, part of that, and then also, I just love her. Personality-wise, I am not fully like her. She's, really cool and, really, yes, I will do what I need to get the job done. I'm not fully like that. I will if I can. There's some things I'm, not okay with doing. So there's that. And then number 3, I'd say Coraine from the Realmbreaker series by Victoria Aveyard, because neither of us can really fight. We cannot physically fight. For her, it's really important to know how to because she's in a fantasy world. That's a very big thing for survival, but she can't do it. I can't do it. But her brains a lot, and that's where her value really comes from in the group she's in. And I feel like that kind of describes me. So that's my 3 characters. What's the next one? Question number 3, hyped books, yay or nay? For me, it just depends on the book, because some books are hyped and need to be hyped. Some books are being hyped and don't need to be hyped. So it says, if yay, what was the most hyped book you ever read? Probably Harry Potter. I didn't really read it when it was hyped, because I came to it later, but it's hyped. I love it, and it kind of needs to be hyped. It does, of course, have its problems, but it's very good at getting people into reading. And then if nay, what was the most hyped book you decided not to read? I have yet to read the Divergent series. I've had the books for years. Still haven't read them. They're not on the shelf. They're downstairs in the basement. So yeah, Divergent. Number 4, recommend 1 book per season. Okay, let me think. For fall, I'm gonna go. I have 2 options for this. One is either Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahereh Mafi, because that series really deals with a girl. Some of her struggles just in life, but some of it's also, because she's in high school, some of her social struggles in high school. And I feel like a bunch of that stuff feels very prevalent in people's lives in the fall when schools first starting up for the year and such. But also the 3 Dark Crowns series by, I really hope I'm saying this right, Kendare Blake. Don't know if I said that right, but I love those books. They have such dark vibes, and I feel like they very well fit fall. For winter, I'm gonna do the Last Hours trilogy by Cassandra Clare, particularly the second book, Chain of Iron, because I don't really fully remember the first book, but I know the second book really does take place in winter, so you get a lot of that chilly vibes. Spring. Probably. Oh, I don't know. Probably just like some cute romancy book. I don't really know what. Because I don't know. Because like spring is really like, yes, love and life and so pretty. And I just love love. It's so cute. And I feel like that matches with spring very well. So I don't fully know what, but like cute romance book. And then finally for summer, I'd probably say What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and not Cassandra Clare and Adam Silvera. Because that one does take place in the summer, and it really does give off the vibes of this is summer break between school, and that's when it takes place, and for those characters. And so yeah, that one. Next up, number 5. Name 1 book that wrecked you emotionally. I have it up here. How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. Yeah, I said that right. So let me tell you about this book. The premise of this book is so it's about this girl who loses her mother, and it's her emotionally dealing with it. And so in the beginning, her mother dies, and the rest of the book is her dealing with this. And I was not expecting to cry when her mother died, because I was like, I'm not far into this book. I don't know these characters. I'm not emotionally invested in them. And then her mother died 20 pages in, and I cried. So definitely this one. Also the cover's just. What's next? Number 6. Name a book that you always recommend. The Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. This is my favorite series of all time. I actually have it severely annotated. This is actually probably one of the least annotated books out of all of them. Yeah, I've read this first one like 4 times. It is a hardcover, but it's kind of falling apart because how many times I've read it. Some people give it trash and don't like it as much because it has a lot of like cliches and stuff. I don't necessarily mind that, so I love this book. So highly recommend this one. This is always my go-to recommendation because it is my. What's next? Number 7. What book would you recommend with tea and cookies? I don't know. Maybe like a cute romancy again. I already said this, but a cute romancy because I feel like when you're sitting drinking tea and having cookies, I don't like tea, but I feel like the vibes of it is just like, yes, so happy, and I feel like romance is just so happy. But also I'd say maybe like an Agatha Christie books, because tea and cookies reminds me of tea and crumpets. That reminds me of British, and Agatha Christie's British. So yeah, that. Number 8, what is your guilty pleasure book? Twilight. I read the main series when I was in middle school, so I didn't realize how trashy it was then, but I read Midnight Sun when I was a senior in high school, and I knew it was bad, and I still loved it so much. It was such a guilty pleasure, so definitely that series. What's next? Number 9, favorite dessert and a book that reminds you of that dessert. So my favorite dessert is Extreme Moose Tracks by Mayfield. It is basically just like chocolate ice cream with chocolate fudge and then like little chocolate chunks in it. It is so good. And the thing that reminds me of the book that'll kind of like equate to it, I think, would maybe be The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, because it is kind of like a chilling, cold story because all the characters are morally gray. like very morally gray. They all have flaws, but they all like you understand their motives and stuff, and I really like that in books. And it's also just kind of dark because you have dark characters doing dark things. But it has so many different like bits and pieces, kind of like the ice cream does. Okay, and next up, last one, number 10. Are you a procrastinator? Yes, I'm not as bad of a procrastinator as some people, but I'm definitely a procrastinator. And if so, what book have you been procrastinating reading? The Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I got the series, the trilogy, years ago. I have yet to read it. I told myself I was going to read this when they announced the TV show. Still haven't read it, and they're working on season 2, so I have it up here. Maybe I'll read it soon. We'll find out. Again, that's the Get to Know Me book tag. I will once again leave the link down below if you want to look at the questions and do it yourself. And I tag all of you watching this if you want to do it. Do it, because since this is my first video, I don't know anyone in the booktube community yet to tag. So yes, you do you. If you want to do it, you've been tagged. You do it. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said at the beginning, this is going to be primarily a book review channel, and so something I really hope you get out of that is like if you realize we have similar reading tastes and similar opinions on books, maybe it'll help give you some ideas of like books to read and such. But if you want to see me do other things like maybe other book tags or something, let me know in the comments below, and I'll maybe consider doing them. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day and bye!